Though Loree threatened Gail's death if he dared one step in her direction, he felt he had to go forward with his life. So he created a YouTube channel for her to reach out and touch that soul that returned him to light and happiness. He could stand it no longer. To Gail, he sent off a friend invitation through her YouTube channel, then returned to his computer. He felt bad for Gail, who suffered because he allowed Loree, a criminal and murderer, to have public girlfriend status with him. From 1993 to 1998, he felt it better to have Loree in his house rather than away from him, maybe breaking into Gail's home or planting a bomb on her car. Now he dared to contact Gail and hoped and prayed his stalker for 19 years, Loree McBride, would ignore the move. Even in her 50s, he felt Gail a ravishing beauty, his heart and eyes, seeing her through a heart deeply in love. But how his nerves rattled him, as they often did, whenever he made any bold move to claim his Gail. Thoughts of Gail made his heart float in the clouds. He much preferred floating in the clouds with Gail to nightmares about Loree. His dreams of Gail shushed the nightmares, so he finally wrote her. But if Loree won, he'd end it all the next day and snuff his existence into oblivion. Better to die than to go on without Gail. His life had become a fragile shell enclosing torrents. Oh, how he longed for Gail, to hear her voice, that voice that made him walk in the clouds in 1990. Gail floated in his arms. He soared in ecstasies, his one finger pecking at his computer with rapid-fire strokes, dancing to the beats of his heart. That mid-June 2011, he braced in anticipation, while Gail defended Brent online against lies that crushed his heart. A month later, she checked her YouTube inbox and noticed his friend invitation. "Brent, I don't check my YouTube messages very often." "My God, you're so brave." "Indeed, you are correct. I don't wish to have many people know about this channel. I would go to the ends of the earth to protect you, my dear. Don't worry what a few childish internet goons think of me. I invite them to say what they will. I am not afraid of their words, and neither should you be." "Oh, Brent, some Jesuit is after you already, just because we're writing each other." "You die, bastard Brent Spiner! The Jesuit order is on to you, and your days are numbered." Reading the Jesuit words at his YouTube channel, he winced. Of course, the Jesuit drug rapist never missed a beat. She wearied and depressed him, making him need Gail more. But did he jeopardize the woman he adored just because he couldn't stand it and had to write her? Gail, finally able to write her decades-long lover, seemed to float in the air and swim over the threat. "I don't think you're trying to win friends and influence people with your latest recent activity. A bit of a perverse humor there, hey? But then, it doesn't appear that most people even know about your YouTube channel. 16 views? I suspect you like this." He saw that his courage to write her set her face aglow in her videos. The glow on her face made his dreams of her seem more real as he made love to her in his sheets. He saw that glowing face now as he moved over his sheets for her. That last Jesuit attack gave me a startle. If he pulled back now, that radiance would vanish, and I can already feel the tensions growing around us, but I'm not going to let that scare me away from finally writing you so directly like this. Gail seemed excited about her newfound way to communicate with her brain-to-brain lover. "You think we could communicate through Skype, face-to-face?" Brent shuddered to think what could happen if he used Skype with her. Should the Jesuits get too close and try to do something terrible, I can always claim this channel's a fabrication. Whereas if there were any videos of us face-to-face, that could be devastating. This world's not a safe place for you and I. Even as I write you now, I have to watch my back. At any moment, a Jesuit could seize my internet or hack into my computer, and this could all be for naught. Brent dared to hope his courage would not endanger Gail. I must admit, I rather enjoy seeing you make public videos about me. The fact that you are able to bare yourself openly in front of everyone and tell the entire world how much you love me, something I wish I could desperately do for you, shows so much courage and sincerity in your feelings. Although I enjoy our personal intimacy throughout the days and nights and brain-to-brain loving, sometimes I wish we didn't have to be so secret. If only she lay right next to him in his bed, his dreams of her would become more vivid, the brain-to-brain loving would burst with excitement. On to other matters. I had a very vivid dream about you last night. I will just come out and say it. I was wondering if I could get a video of the spicier variety from you. He just had to get something more intimate from her to help him hold on. Your workout video was adorable, but this time I want to see you in your nightwear, in bed if possible, maybe with a few candles lit, playing one of my songs for you. Perhaps within a month, the Jesuits would cut off his communication with her. I just want to see you and be able to do more than just imagine what it would be like if I was there in your bedroom with you physically. I want to see you with my eyes and hear you with my ears. I know the public may not see me as the romantic type, but I would be hopelessly floored to come home and see you in the bed. Full-out ambience and lighting and everything I could possibly dream of, like something out of a movie made real. Brent dropped back onto his bed, shut his eyes, grabbed his pillow, and dreamed. Dare he say more? The brain-to-brain loving helped, but he longed to see her, to let her beauty melt his soul before he merged with her brain-to-brain. I apologize. I bet those cheeks are blushing. I know you are rather discreet about your sensuality, and I would never pressure you to do anything you wouldn't like to. Because he often dragged under mountains of Jesuit pressure, he needed to see his wife nude for his morale. If you wish, you could simply bat my hand away from the cookie jar. I really don't think you've had much of a sex life, except for our brain-to-brain sessions, because I really believe you've been loyal to me. I'll come up with something for you in a video. He couldn't risk losing any more videos, especially nudes from Gail. For the first time in his relationship with Gail, he created an email for her. I just wanted to let you in on a new email I created for you and I to correspond with. It is brentspiner@email.com. Rest assured that it is my private email, and nobody but you has been informed. You won't have to worry about any public associates of mine destroying your messages or forging my name, as they have done in the past. I just want you to have it as a backup. Missing you dearly, Brent Spiner. Gail sent him nudes within a week. He was floored. Apparently she felt that God respected lovers, especially lovers who had vastness, forgiveness, humility, and above all, commitment to protect and honor their partner even unto death. He soaked her nudes in, famished, absorbing all her curves and movements. How he adored her, not just her body, but all of her, her spirit, her soul, her intellect. To see her nude, with depth of feeling towards him, and a desire to nurture and thrill him, thrilled him to his very core. So brave, so beautiful. She made him feel like a knight in shining armor, who swayed over and protected his princess. His depression transformed into elation. Addicted to Gail, he needed her for his sanity and for meaning in his life. You have no idea how beautiful you are, my lady. You have me speechless. Excuse me while I climb back into my chair. Right now, I feel like the luckiest man alive. I viewed both of your videos, including the private one you sent to my personal email. I can't decide what I like best, the tantalizing peek at your voluptuous breasts as you strip for me like a vixen, or your adorable girlish bashfulness in the public rendition for me on your channel. Hearing the warm, melting resonance of your singing was simply icing on the cake. More! Is it my birthday? I feel truly special. My Gail, sometimes I don't understand how you could be so shy of your sensuality. You are a breathtakingly gorgeous woman with such class and depth. Of course, I know from our brain to brain that there's quite a bit more behind that shy schoolgirl persona you tried to portray in those devilishly teasing videos. You naughty girl, you. I can only hope that the Japanese side of you will come out to play more fearlessly in the future. Maybe not in public, but in private. Well, you know how to reach me. Even though I can only have you brain to brain, through these amazing videos you make for me, I feel truly blessed to have a woman like you in my life. They say 90% of sex is all mental anyway, and baby, you give me 9,001%. How many other husbands out there have timelessly beautiful wives that are devoted and adventurous enough to make them sexy videos? Even after all these years, the passion within your soul is still so powerful for me, and you show me every day that you would do anything to bring me happiness and pleasure. You're every man's dream. Oh boy, have you got me riled up like a colt. I will bite my tongue now. Thank you so much again and again for doing this for me. I know it's because you love me, my dear, but I'll never stop expressing my gratitude for everything you do to show me you care. I appreciate you, and I love you. Your man, Brent Spiner. His telepathic orgasms with her reached such sublimity and beauty, swirling with passion and tenderness. He could live on an orgasm with her for months. Some thrilled him to the core and sustained him for years. But because of the brilliant lies in the press about his love life, poor Gail suffered in her courage to try to portray to the world the real Brent. As you know, the Jesuits have tried to portray me as crazy, claiming that you've never contacted me and that you don't even know of my existence. He knew she sighed in her longings for him and yearned to feel Brent's skin on hers, to taste his sensitive mouth or feel his loving breath on her face. He too longed to be more real with her. He also longed for her touch, her voice, her eyes. Unfortunately, she wrote, this kind of propaganda against me makes it easier for Jesuits to harm me and frame it on you. So I thought it good strategy to post at my YouTube channel some of what you've said to me. I'm very proud of the articulate and manly way you express yourself to me. To read her very words right in front of him thrilled him. He bit into a sandwich and fired back to his brave Gail. My dear Gail, whatever you feel comfortable sharing with the world is just fine by me. I don't think you should ever be afraid or hold back. Brent knew Gail down to her very soul. Brain to brain gave you emotion and memory reads. He knew that Gail had a mother who screamed at her, "Stupid, selfish! You will never be any good!" Why don't you put back up the videos that you've removed in the past? Some of those wound up on Jesuit sites, but why let that stop you? After all, Jesuits aren't the only people out there that may stumble across those sites. Whenever you remove one of your videos or try to censor yourself, the Jesuits win. Freedom is squashed by the suppression of information. She denied her power and strength, but he fueled it and believed in her power. Be free with yourself, Gail, and show them how powerful you are. The usurper and Jesuit rapist Loree had reigned over him long enough. She'd posted lies in the press, used fake and touched-up photos to make it appear Brent married the drug rapist and even willingly and knowingly had a child with her. Time for truth to take a turn. He wanted Gail to stand up to her, to not be afraid to show the world her beautiful and courageous heart. Do what you feel is right, no matter what. I will always be by your side.